Thank you so very much. Let me begin by reading the concluding lines of Psalm 90. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Return, O Lord, how long? And let it repent thee concerning thy servants. O satisfy us early with thy mercy, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days. Make us glad according to the days wherein thou hast afflicted us, and the years wherein we have seen evil. Let thy work appear unto thy servants, and thy glory unto their children. And let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us, and establish thou the work of our hands upon us. Yea, the work of our hands, establish thou it. I will read now a short poem by the Tudor poet Thomas Wyatt, called They Flee From Me That Sometime Did Me Seek. They flee from me that sometime did me seek, with naked foot stalking in my chamber. I have seen them, gentle, tame, and meek, that now are wild, and do not remember that sometime they put themselves in danger to take bread at my hand, and now they range busily seeking with a continual change. Thanked be fortune, it hath been otherwise 20 times better, but once in special, in thin array after a pleasant guise, when her loose gown from her shoulders did fall, and she me caught in her arms long and small, therewithal sweetly did me kiss, and softly said, Dear heart, how like you this? It was no dream, I lay broad waking, but all is turned thorough my gentleness into a strange fashion of forsaking, and I have leave to go of her goodness, and she also to use newfangledness. But since that I so kindly am served, I would fain know what she hath deserved. I would like to follow this with Shakespeare's 66th sonnet. I believe that Pasternak translated this, and at readings that he gave, there was always the cry, if he had failed to do so, give us the 66th. Someone would shout from the audience, give us the 66th, and I will give you the 66th. Tired with all these, for restful death I cry, as to behold desert a beggar born, and needy nothing trimmed in jollity, and purest faith unhappily forsworn, and gilded honour shamefully misplaced, and maiden virtue rudely strumpeted, and right perfection wrongfully disgraced, and strength by limping sway disabled, and art made tongue-tied by authority, and folly doctor-like controlling skill, and simple truth miscalled simplicity, and captive good attending captain ill. Tired with all these, from these would I be gone, save that to die, I leave my love alone. A very difficult poem now to read. It's by John Donne, and it's called A Nocturnal upon St. Lucy's Day, being the shortest day. 'Tis the year's midnight, and it is the day's Lucy's, who scarce 7 hours herself unmasks. The sun is spent, and now his flasks send forth light squibs, no constant rays. The world's whole sap is sunk. The general balm the hydroptic earth hath drunk, whither, as to the bed's feet, life is shrunk, dead and interred. Yet all these seem to laugh compared with me, who am their epitaph. Study me then, you who shall lovers be at the next world, that is, of the next spring. For I am every dead thing in whom love wrought new alchemy. For his art did express a quintessence even from nothingness, from dull privation and lean emptiness. He ruined me, and I am rebegot of absence, darkness, death, things which are not. All others from all things draw all that's good. Life, soul, form, spirit, whence they being have. I by love's limbeck am the grave of all, that's nothing. Oft a flood have we two wept, and so drowned the whole world, us two. Oft did we grow to be two chaoses, when we did show care to aught else, and often absences withdrew our souls and made us carcasses. But I am by her death, which word wrongs her, of the first nothing the elixir grown. Were I a man, that I were one, I needs must know. I should prefer if I were any beast, some ends, some means. Yea, plants, yea, stones detest and love. All some properties invest. If I an ordinary nothing were, a shadow, a light, and body must be here. But I am none, nor will my sun renew. You lovers, for whose sake the lesser sun at this time to the goat is run to fetch new lust and give it you, enjoy your summer all. Since she enjoys her long night's festival, let me prepare towards her, and let me call this hour her vigil and her eve, since this, both the years and the days, deep midnight is. A jump now to the Romantics, to the beautiful passage from Wordsworth's description of crossing the Alps, taken from the 1805 version. The dull and heavy slackening that ensued upon these tidings by the peasant given was soon dislodged. Downwards we hurried fast, and entered with the road which we had missed into a narrow chasm. The brook and road were fellow travellers in this gloomy pass, and with them did we journey several hours at a slow step. The immeasurable height of woods decaying, never to be decayed, the stationary blasts of waterfalls, and everywhere along the hollow rent, winds thwarting winds, bewildered and forlorn. The torrents shooting from the clear blue sky, the rocks that muttered close upon our ears, black drizzling crags that spake by the wayside as if a voice were in them, the sick sight and giddy prospect of the raving stream, the unfettered clouds and region of the heavens, tumult and peace, the darkness and the light, were all like workings of one mind, the features of the same face, blossoms upon one tree, characters of the great apocalypse, the types and symbols of eternity, of first and last, and midst, and without end. Now one of Walt Whitman's most beautiful poems, short poem called Beginners. How they are provided for upon the earth, appearing at intervals. How dear and dreadful they are to the earth. How they inure to themselves as much as to any. What a paradox appears their age. How people respond to them, yet know them not, how there is something relentless in their fate all times, how all times mischoose the objects of their adulation and reward, and how the same inexorable price must still be paid for the same great purchase. I'm going to attempt to read a poem by Gerard Hopkins. It would seem absurd, particularly after the very, very generous introduction that has been given to this reading. It would seem to be absurd to leave Hopkins out. Unfortunately, I chose one of the very most difficult of all his poems to read, and I am not confident tonight in my capacity to meet its demands. However, I will make an effort. It's the leaden echo and the golden echo. How to keep, is there any? Is there none such, nowhere known some, bow or brooch or braid or brace, lace, latch or catch or key, to keep back beauty, keep it, beauty, 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 from vanishing away? Oh, is there no frowning of these wrinkles, ranked wrinkles deep down? No waving off of these most mournful messengers, still messengers, sad and stealing messengers of grey? No, there's none, there's none. Oh no, there's none. Nor can you long be what you now are, called fair. Do what you may do what you may. And wisdom is early to despair. Be beginning, since no, nothing can be done, to keep at bay age and age's evils, hoar hair, ruck and wrinkle, drooping, dying, death's worst, winding sheets, tombs and worms, and tumbling to decay. So be beginning to despair. Oh, there's none. No, 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 there's none. Be beginning to despair, 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 despair. Spare. There is one. Yes, I have one, hushed there. Only not within seeing of the sun, not within the singeing of the strong sun, tall suns tinging or treacherous the tainting of the earth's air. Somewhere elsewhere there is, well, where? One. Yes, I can tell such a key. I do know such a place, where whatever's prized and passes of us, everything that's fresh and fast flying of us, seems to us sweet of us, and swiftly away with, done away with, undone, done with, soon done with, and yet dearly and dangerously sweet of us, the wimpled, water-dimpled, not by morning matched face, the flower of beauty, fleece of beauty, too apt to, to fleet. Never fleets more, fastened with the tenderest truth to its own best being and its loveliness of youth. It is an everlastingness of, oh, it is an all youth. Come then your ways and airs and looks, locks, maiden gear, gallantry and gaiety and grace, winning ways, airs innocent, maiden manners, sweet looks, loose locks, long locks, love locks, gay gear, going gallant, girl grace. Resign them, sign them, seal them, send them, motion them with breath, and with sighs soaring sighs, deliver them. Beauty in the ghost, deliver it early now, long before death give beauty back, Beauty, 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 back to God, beauty's self and beauty's giver. See, not a hair is, not an eyelash, not the least lash lost. Every hair is hair of the head numbered. Nay, what we had light-handed left in surly the mere mould, will have waked and have waxed and have walked with the wind, what while we slept. This side, that side hurling, a heavy-headed hundredfold, what while we slumbered. Oh then, weary then, why should we tread? Oh, why are we so haggard at the heart, so care-coiled, care-killed, so fagged, so fashed, so cogged, so cumbered, when the thing we freely forfeit is kept with fonder a care kept than we could have kept it, kept far with fonder a care, and we should have lost it. Finer, fonder a care kept. Where kept? Do but tell us where kept. Where? Yonder? What hires that? We follow. Now we follow. Yonder. Yes, yonder. 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 A poem by the young, as he was then, Jewish poet, British Jewish poet Isaac Rosenberg, one of the most severe losses to poetry of the First World War. Isaac Rosenberg's expression, leaving no place for the superb and grave, magnificent throng, the pregnant queens of quietness that brave and edge our song of wonder at the light, our life-leased home, of greeting to our housemates, and in might our song shall roam life's heart, a blossoming fire blown bright by thought, while gleams and fades the infinite desire, phantasmed naught. Can this be caught and caged? Wings can be clipped of eagles, the sun's gaudy measure gauged, but no sense dipped in the mystery of sense. The troubled throng of words break out like smothered fire through dense and smouldering wrong. A short poem by Dylan Thomas called 24 Years. 24 years remind the tears of my eyes, bury the dead for fear that they walk to the grave in labor. In the groin of the natural doorway I crouched like a tailor, sewing a shroud for a journey by the light of the meat-eating sun. Dressed to die, the sensual strut begun, with my red veins full of money, in the final direction of the elementary town, I advance for as long as forever is. My penultimate poem, the penultimate poem that I shall be reading, that is. I think my ultimate poem is already behind me. But one of my great favorites, a poem by D.H. Lawrence called Bavarian Gentians. Not every man has gentians in his house in soft September at slow, sad Michaelmas. Bavarian gentians, big and dark, only dark, darkening the daytime torchlight with the smoking blueness of Pluto's gloom. Ribbed and torch-like, with their blaze of darkness spread blue down, flattening into points, flattened under the sweep of white day. Torch flower of the blue smoking darkness, Pluto's dark blue days, black lamps from the halls of Dis, burning dark blue, giving off darkness, blue darkness, as Demeter's pale lamps give off light. Lead me then, lead me the way. Reach me a gentian, give me a torch, let me guide myself with the blue forked torch of this flower down the darker and darker stairs where blue is darkened on blueness, even where Persephone goes just now from the frosted September to the sightless realm where darkness is awake upon the dark, and Persephone herself is but a voice or a darkness invisible, enfolded in the deeper dark of the arms plutonic, and pierced with the passion of dense gloom, among the splendor of torches of darkness, shedding darkness on the lost bride and her groom. The ending of Psalm 39 in the English version, the beautiful, though often very inaccurate, English versions. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. I was dumb. I opened not my mouth, because thou didst it. Remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thy hand. When thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner, as all my fathers were. O spare me a little, that I may recover my strength before I go hence and be no more seen. Thank you.